If the USA is so great, then why'd they make a USB? So we're going to talk a little bit today about some Yama drops. In the old school RuneScape video game, you know, the game that we play or that you've clicked on this video for, there's some nice drops from this boss, but I'm looking at the Soul Flame Horn right away. 3 mil. Look at this graph. That's like a Nickelback or something said that one time. Just steady, straight down, like no hope whatsoever. Pre new boss coming out, the Doom boss, the Delve boss, people were like, yeah, it should be good, and then it's useless, so it crashes. I do think this will rebound. I do believe that. It will rebound a little bit. Here's a couple of reasons for that. But in general, like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Look at the price of Oathplate. This is the best melee armor in the game. It's a side grade to Torva, and Torva is also in the bin price-wise because of it. So both of them lost their value. PVM became less profitable, which makes it kind of like less fun. Like when you get a nice big Oathplate drop, you're like, oh boy, 70 mil. It doesn't hit the same as a T-bow that costs a bill, or like a Torva plate body was 500 something mil. So we're seeing a bit of an economy shift here at this point, and I wonder if things are going to change. I do think they will. So Oathplate full set, 225 mil. If we look at Torva, you can see that the helm is almost the same price. The body is almost the same price. Torva legs, 157 mil. So things are looking a little bit dire. There's some problems that have caused this to happen. First thing that I want to look at, let's look at the Soul Flame Horn. How could they fix this? I think it's a problem that these items are so cheap, and like literally killing Venenatus is more money per hour just from the base drops and not the Voidwaker pieces. So there's, in general, yeah, I think they should buff some of these items. It's an endgame boss, and they're already, they're pretty powerful, but for the Soul Flame Horn, the 3 mil, and it's only going down. Couple of things. You could, actually I found it very interesting. If attacking another player, the effect is replaced by a 100% accuracy increase for their next melee attack. Has anyone tried this with, like, PKing? Like, could you just horn and then DDS someone in, like, I don't know, bad gear and hit high? I'm very curious as to that. Or maybe you could use, like, a Crystal Halberd and, like, I don't know. Like, when would you ever do that? But the horn's 3 mil. Right now, it's not worth bringing. But, you know, maybe if you're doing, like, an AGS spec on tank gear, this could be worth it. Something like that. There's just a little side note there. So another player must have accept aid turned on for the special attack to take effect. If they do not, you'll receive a message that says you blow your horn into the wind, no one's able to listen. And then the flame effect around the mouth will not appear. So what they could do, this wasn't how it was pulled, but what if you made it so the horn buffed yourself if you spec yourself? So it takes 25 spec. You spec yourself, you're down to 75. You could then Elder Maul and guarantee the hit. That would be really good for like solo corp. It could be really good for solo chambers if you're like, I need to guarantee this hit. Especially if you're using like a light bear with all the death charge and stuff like that. If you're at Tecton and you really want to make sure you hit, you could use the horn, you could Elder Maul, you could sip a surge potion, and you could Elder Maul again in a solo. Like, do we see anything really wrong with this? Like, just landing Warhammer specs and Elder Maul specs is just part of the game, and it's only annoying when you miss. So, yeah, I'm curious as to what they could do with the horn. Another thing that I was looking at here, item sync. Items regulated by item sync. There's nothing on here for this, so they're probably going to eventually add it, and the prices will naturally go up there, but like, look at the items that have been removed, and this is as per Mod Ash back in, whatever month that was, May. A lot of really nice things have been sunken. So, Twisted Bow, 399. Like, you don't really need to sync T-bows, but you definitely want to sync occult necklaces. They've put a huge focus on this. I do think you could go ahead and start syncing some more items like this. Such as Yama. It's time to add them there. But overall, the next raid or end game piece of content, we're probably going to see here. I'll link the video in the description, and while you're at it, hit the like and comment and whatever your thoughts. But the Sunlight Spear from Shattered Relics. No, what was that thing called? Raging Echoes League. That's a very nice item. Now they would tinker with the stats, and I actually look at the DPS and look at the stats and everything and post that. What I'm thinking is you could have a Sunlight Spear, which is a melee 4-tick weapon. It's got a shield attached to it, so it's two-handed technically. It could be a side grade to the Scythe, where it's a stab equivalent, but has some cool effects, like a Soul Reaper axe. I think there's some really cool things that you could do with that. So, if they add that, they could add a new set of armor that is the equivalent of Inquisitors, but for stab, or the equivalent for Oathplate, but for stab. And if they do that, is Torva just going to keep going down? Probably. So Torva should stay as the best gear for max hits, and anything that has defense, you use the specific gear to the item that you're using. And you could get a nice little niche of some sort for that new stab armor. I just don't think it should cost 70 mil like a couple months after release. It's on pace to be like the price of bandos, right? Like bandos cost 30 mil for ages. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on this, because I do think this is a bit of a problem with the prices currently. I mean, 3 mil for a Soulflame Horn, and it just keeps going down and down and down. I think they could probably address this some way. Either buff the horn, or start syncing items, or change the drop rates. A huge problem. Let's check the last huge problem. Contract. Look at these. This one makes sense. Shard acquisition makes sense. But the horn contract's 1.48 mil. It's just pumping them into the game. They're just coming into the game like crazy. Like, I don't... This is a problem overall, right? You got 30,000 coin contracts, which is cool. I like the idea of contracts. Something's off, and I don't really know how to fix this. Let me know in the comments what you would do. Do you think Yama's drop table is a problem? This gear is so good, and it's already 200 mil. Obviously, I'm talking from the perspective of I'm a rich main with, like, 10 bill plus bank. So I see a 200 mil and it's a problem, but is it? I don't know. Again, comment below. And let me know, do you think mayonnaise is wet? Really think about that. Really wrestle with that idea. Is it? I think it's probably